What an afternoon for the club. Great crowd, and have to say, great day, great win against our oldest, nearest and dearest rivals to win the league that they snatched from us last year through a penalty shootout, but got our own back on them today, and what a win. How would you describe the game?
I think we started strong for the first 10-15 minutes, and we kind of dropped off then when they scored a goal, and we came back into it just before half time for the last 10 minutes and played the football we knew how to play, that we've been playing since we started under 21. And I don't think they could actually handle it properly when we started playing football around the place, and all they were kind of looking to do was go over the top on us because they knew that was their strength against us. But I think when we play football the way we usually do, there's no one ever going to stop us in the Mayo anyways, that's for sure.
So Kevin Kettrick got the ball rolling early on to put us one up, and I have to say it was, in a sense, one way is to let everyone know you win a game, and then once they equalised a few minutes later, got their tails up, but once we went 2-1 up, we never looked back.
I think when we went 1-0 up, we're so used to going up in games that we kind of end up dropping off, not by actually doing it, we just tend to, just happens to us to do it. So I think when they scored, we weren't used to conceding a goal and ended up coming back to 1-1. So we knew that we had to play properly and play the way we always do for the whole game. And once we got the second goal, I think we drove on and ended up getting the other two as well.
I have to say the pace of the game was very intense, particularly in the first half. I know it did kind of drop off a bit in the second half, but my God, some of them tackles out there today. There was no love lost.
Yeah, I think we knew going into the game that it was going to be a very intense game and there was going to be a lot of bite in it, but I think we have a lot of lads on our team that are fit to give it back to them, even when they're bigger and stronger lads to us, but we still have as much bite as they do in their team.
And the sending off for Celtic for the headbutt, that certainly didn't help their cause or their discipline, even though a few minutes before that their manager was talking about discipline from the players, but certainly it was a silly red card from their part.
Yeah, I think once they start losing the game or are going behind in some sort of way, that they start arguing with each other, and we kind of knew that from last year, from playing them in the two games, that once we get them on the back foot, that we'll end up getting them to argue against each other and it'll work in our favour. And I think the fact that we were already 2 goals up, that it was going to work that way. So they just started arguing with each other then, and we knew one of them was going to eventually just lash out, and they did that. And once they were down to 10 men, we kind of just kept the ball and played the football we knew and just held out for the last few minutes of the game.
So in a normal night it would have been out and celebrate, but the fact is, if you're out during a cup game tomorrow, means it's probably a nice bath possibly, or early bed. So that will certainly curtail your celebrations, unfortunately, as there's another big game tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll still go out and have the crack with the lads and celebrate, but our job isn't done. We still have a game tomorrow, and most of the players on that under-21 team today all have to play tomorrow, so we know we have to get a job done tomorrow, so we're not going to take it too hard tonight and go easy. And then we still have to look forward to the cup in under-21 as well, and we have Celtic in the first round of it, so we're definitely looking forward to playing them in Castlebar anyways.
And when you look at that, probably the 2 best teams in the county, one of them will be out in the first round, and that would have been your cup final by default when you look at ability.
Yeah, I think us having Celtic in the first round of the cup shows that it kind of means that one of us is going to end up winning it somehow. But whoever wins that game is still going to have to perform in the rest of the games, because there is clubs like Ballina, Swinford, Conor Rangers, all of them who can still put it up to us, who have put it up to us a few games before we played Celtic today. So I think we just need to go out against Celtic with the same mentality that we did today and play the way we know we can, or else they will take advantage of that and take it on.
And for Celtic in the centenary year at under-18 level up, they've won the league at under-18, they've won the league with a B team at junior level, they've won the league with an A team at junior level, and this would have been their clean sweep of leagues at adult football. And as it turned out today, we ended that particular run for them.
Yeah, I think we knew going into today that we kind of had to beat them to show that they're not the only team in Mayo who can actually win stuff. I think on a 21 level we've a way better team and a way better squad to be beating them week in, week out, and I think that will drive us on at senior level as well.
Yeah! Many thanks and enjoy the night. Last year, it was cruel. It was disappointing. This afternoon, job done. Elation, delightment, joy, and a bit of history. First under-21 league for the club. Against your nearest and dearest rivals. No better club to win a league against. How do you sum that up?
It's a pretty great feeling. It's a really great feeling. Kenneth, we spoke all week about the dominance that Castlebar Celtic have at adult level for the last couple of years, and fair play to them for that. Their centenary year, fair play to Castlebar Celtic for being able to sort of gather the whole town and the whole support base and the club for their centenary year. Just to say that for a start, well done to them for that. But then, to put this game in context, we wanted to break that dominance, and we want to start the new Super League year knowing that when this team is on the finish line and can win something, that it has the character to do it. And we proved that today. We spoke about that all week. So delighted, absolutely delighted. Delighted with a little bit of restraint because we have a big game tomorrow, but delighted.
And the intensity, in particular in the first half, the tackles are flying in. The game was played at such a pace. I know in the second half, that intensity did die off a bit, and we were pretty much in control, and we had almost shown a little bit of arrogance at times the way we were keeping the ball.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was arrogance, but you're right, the first half was what you'd expect of a derby, and what you'd hope in a derby between Castlebar Celtic and Westport United. We said before the game, listen, under 21 team playing in a league decider against Castlebar Celtic on a fine evening on a new pitch with the Westport crowd behind you, like in terms of county standard, it doesn't get better than that. And I was just so happy that the players got themselves up and were able to perform and seal the deal, because that's such an important thing, that when you get to the edge and you're about to win, that you can actually seal the deal. And they did that, and that's going to stand to them for so many years into the future. The first half was really intense, tackles flying in, everybody wanting to not give any quarter whatsoever, not give an inch. And it was a tough game for Jimmy to referee, but he did quite well. And I thought we were the better side. I think we should have won by probably a few more goals. And yes, in the second half, the intensity did die off, and we controlled the play as a team in charge should do. We also spoke about playing right to the last minute and not dropping off. Keep playing football, and we did that.
And the first goal came to Kevin Kettrick only after 4.5 minutes. And the early goal really set the tone for the game. Yeah,
and Celtic weren't long in equalising, which kind of was a little bit of let the air out of the balloon a little bit. But we regained confidence, and Kevin scored an unbelievable free kick. Oh my God, we were right behind it. The dip and the curve on the ball right into the top corner. It was sensational. But I think we could have scored a few more in the first half, which anyway, we didn't. We finished the game out.
Indeed. And so that means on a normal night the players could go gung-ho celebrating, but unfortunately not tonight because they're out playing again tomorrow.
Yeah, we've made a deal with them. We have a curfew time. We made a contract pact there in the dressing room that they will go for a few drinks, and there will be a curfew time that they will be home by, and make sure that they get a good night's sleep for tomorrow's game. Luckily, we have a good extended squad, and we don't have to rely on every player tomorrow to play again. But we will be relying on a few of those players, and we will make sure that we protect them as much as we can. We're looking forward to tomorrow.
And Ballas is there. I think you went to have a look at them last week.
Their game was cancelled. So I didn't get to see them, but I did get to see a video recording of them, and I have some information on them, so we'll present that to the players tomorrow. We'll have breakfast in the Castle Court tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and we'll have a presentation on the match and how we're going to approach it, and then we'll travel up to Ballastadair and we'll have a go at it.
And I'm certainly looking forward to that game myself, and the win, of course, will put us into the last 64 of the FAI Junior Cup, something that we've been achieving pretty regularly over the last quarter of a century nearly.
Yeah, and I feel it's really important that we do it this year because when a new manager comes in, I think it's really important that we have him in the second round of the Connacht Cup and in the third round of the FAI, or the open draw for the FAI Junior Cup, so that he has some good competition and good games pre-season to work with.
Indeed. And back to the under-21 scene, and in the Cup, both sides face off again in Celtic Park.
Yeah, that'll be another real test, and it'll be another challenge for us. Now that we have won this, can we maintain that standard of intensity and go to Castlebar and win the game? That's a new challenge for this group of players, and hopefully it's a challenge we can pass.
Indeed. Many thanks for talking.
Thank you, Kenneth.